that is a full-blown scrape, and it didn't start that way. It started with a mock scrape back in April. Scrapes to us are the way out of all buck sign. Scrapes give up the most information, and when we start the scrape on the new farm, we'll start as many as 10 of them, and we'll make them small. And to a buck, scrapes are ways of communication, and they're capable of scraping all year long. So when we start out with a small scrape, we don't just put it at random. We put it in travel routes, nice deer runs passing through. You don't want to put in a mock scrape where a buck can't find it. You wouldn't put a lemonade stand in the back of your house. If you're selling lemonade, you put it where the traffic is. You want him to find it. Now you are actually communicating with that buck, and you're asking him questions. And his answers come in the form of expansion on that scrape. He's telling you at this point, yes, I like this spot, I'll be back to this spot. And as that scrape expands, you back off, because now they're urinating, they're using their glands, they're using everything. But initially when we started out with a synthetic scent to grab his attention. And this is the way we do it. We'll start out with a very small, maybe 10 inches around. And we'll spray some synthetic scent in there. And it doesn't take much. And once you have that small mock scrape in, remove the leaves, shoot some synthetic scent in there, or whatever scent you wish to use. But urines mean nothing to a deer during the springtime. So that's why we like synthetics. Also, we sprayed synthetics on a licking branch. You have to have a licking branch because this is the way deer communicate. A buck could work scrapes all year long. Small secret. And we're communicating with the deer. So by spraying down there, we're asking them, are you comfortable with the spot we chose? And his expansion says yes. Now, as it expands, you start seeing runs coming from different directions. And your next question is, which run do you bucks like to use? And we'll actually go on that run, and we'll break off 5-6 feet just so we can see the tracks. And now he's telling us, this is the run I like, and we can backtrack it and set up the stands to intercept them, or set up the cameras to see what kind of headgear he has. And that's how we start mock scrapes, as early as April. This farm is gorgeous. We just picked this up after the last season, and it's a huge farm. And we're looking at aerial photographs, we're looking at topo maps, and what we're looking for is we're looking for elevation changes, because that's where a smart buck will always travel. He will always utilize the land to his advantage. Now this is what we call Earn the Buck program. It's not what you know as Earn the Buck, shoot a doe, then get a buck in some of the states. What we're doing is we're giving deer habits to keep him coming through in one area, keep him coming through on certain runs that we want him to travel. In states where you're allowed to bait, minerals are the greatest thing to use starting out in early spring. Give that buck a habit. The more habits you can give him on the same route, the more ingrained it is in his mind. He can't reason. Whitetail clover puts out some fantastic minerals. It enhances the antler growth, but it has a sweet smell and taste to it, and they seek it out. I'm going to show you what else we do to get the deer to use certain trails that we want them to do. Deer are lazy, and they will always use the path of least resistance. And that's why I got these tools. So we're going to make that path. That swamp still got water in it. But this is what that buck, they'll follow the trails and there's a lot of them in there, but the two main trails that go by the stand, this is where they come out. They're coming out through here and over here, and this is their objective. It's just a small food plot. Now you can see the food plot in the background there. A smart buck will always do this. He'll come into a position where he could see and smell what's going on out there. And this is where I'm going to make a scrape, right here. And wait till you see what I do next. I tell you, you're going to see something unusual. You see, it's late summer. The rubs are showing up where the bucks are rubbing off their velvet. But a little known fact is, once the antlers harden, that buck is capable of mating. His testosterone levels are going up sky high, and he doesn't know why. He just knows he's being driven. But unfortunately, nature plays a cruel trick on him, because she doesn't want the fawns to be born in the wintertime, which they would be. They wouldn't have a chance for survival. So of course, nature won't let them mate. But he doesn't know that. So we developed a scent called testosterone fever. It's an all-season scent, and it implies to that buck that yes, you can mate. So this is why I made a small scrape here, because that buck's going to stop here naturally anyhow to watch that field. And that's long lasting. So we'll also see what kind of tracks come in here, and of course set up cameras. But we are drawing this deer specifically right where we want them. Now, hopefully. So I'm going to cross my fingers and wait a couple months and we'll see what happens.